Happy Friday. You made it to the end of the week. Welcome to Spicer and Company. I'm Sean Spicer.
And I'm Lindsay Keith. Well, Sean, voting, wow, specifically voting by mail was a major topic all week long at the Democratic National Convention. And today, the Postmaster General testified before the Senate. You know, he says that confidently the ballots mailed on time will also arrive on time. You know, we're going to dig into that in just a few minutes. But first, the DNC wrapped up last night. What did you think of Joe Biden's speech?
I thought it was a good speech. He delivered a good speech, right? But there's a big difference between delivering a good speech and persuading people to vote for you. It was a very compelling night about his family story, about his overcoming grief and hardship. But at the end of the day, I don't think that they really did a good job of talking about what they stand for and why they would move this country in a better direction. And I think that was intentional, Lindsay.
Yeah, I think you're right. His speech was pretty much devoid of policy, which echoed what we saw all week as well. It was more about character, love, being united. But I do think he looked presidential. You know, he did a really good job of no gaffes, of coming across strong, which I think was a big question. He only spoke for 24 minutes, which is the shortest acceptance speech in history, with Bill Clinton having one of the longest ones, which was nice. Obviously, you don't have the applause there and people, so there's definitely that making it a little bit shorter. But I thought that was nice. At least he was trying to get to the point and didn't draw it out.
Yeah, well, obviously we're going to have a big contrast starting next week with the RNC and then obviously President Trump accepting a second term. But Lindsay, they talked a lot about vote by mail. Every night they attacked it. I want to bring in the Postmaster General was in front of the Senate today. He's going to be coming in front of the House on Monday. I want to bring in Kentucky Congressman and the ranking member of the committee in the House Oversight and Reform Committee, that is going to do that, Congressman James Comer. Congressman, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Before I get to vote by mail and the Postmaster General, I do want to ask you, what did you think of Vice President Biden's speech last night?
Well, it was a good speech. I think he's going to always do well when he can read from a teleprompter in an empty room, or if he can do an interview from a teleprompter in his basement. But when it gets to the debates and when it gets to the point to where he eventually has to answer questions from halfway credible reporters, I think he's going to falter. I think he's going to make gaffes, and I think that's going to be the opportunity for Trump to pull ahead.
Congressman, let's get back to this. On Monday, your committee is going to have the Postmaster General. The Democrats are making you guys vote this weekend. I believe that there is a systematic attempt for the Democrats this week, not just to attack Republicans for how they're voting, but they want people to cast their vote today. Let me play you some of the clips that occurred over the last 4 days from the Democrats.
We've got to request our mail-in ballots right now, tonight, and send them back immediately.
And let's be clear, there is absolutely zero difference between voting by mail and voting absentee.
And we should be making it easier for people to cast their ballots, not harder.
If you vote by mail, request your ballot now and send it back right away.
So I think we need to ask ourselves, why don't they want us to vote? Why is there so much effort to silence our voices?
Congressman, you and Leader McCarthy and Whip Scalise sent a letter to Speaker Pelosi telling her to stop and knock it out when it comes to this scaring people. No one wants anyone not to vote. I want people to vote. What's going on and what are you guys doing about it? Because this is ridiculous what the Democrats are doing to scare people.
This is a scare tactic. It's another baseless conspiracy theory. They're using the post office as a tool. What the president said about voting was in reference to universal mail-in ballots, not absentee ballots. We all want people to vote. We all, you know, an absentee ballot is where a registered voter requests a ballot. A universal ballot is one that's just sent in the mail to everyone on the voter rolls. And we all know the voter rolls are wrong in just about every state. It's funny, in the meeting I just had, Chairwoman Maloney said that she was talking about how many dead people got stimulus checks. Well, I wonder if we have universal ballots, how many dead people will receive ballots and what will happen with those ballots. That's what the issue is. It's about universal voting, not absentee voting.
You know what I think the issue is, Congressman? Tell me what you think of this theory. If you watched everyone last night, they said, cast your ballot, cast your ballot, cast your ballot, right? They want you to make sure that you cast your ballot before you see Joe Biden on that stage going toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, because they know that once people see that, the contrast is going to be clear. They didn't talk about policy this week for a reason, and they kept that speech short for a reason. This is a scare tactic to get you to vote before you see Biden and Trump on the same stage. Do you agree?
I agree 100%. There's no question. Everyone knows in those debates Donald Trump will win. Everyone knows in those debates the odds are very high that Joe Biden will say he's running for the U.S. Senate, or he'll forget what state he's in or what day of the week it is. So I believe that you're exactly right. The Democrats know that they've peaked in the election. We saw the polls last week. They're already starting to drop, and I think that trend will continue through Election Day. And obviously they do too, and that's why they're wanting everybody to go ahead and vote early.
Yeah, I think they're creating the excuse for when they lose. But here's the thing that's interesting is that these states are telling people if they get a universal ballot that they will get it, that they only need 3 days. The post office congressman warned them that that's not true. The states and the Democrats are creating this problem and then blaming it on Republicans. They're the ones. You can still vote in person, according to Fauci, and you can vote absentee. The Democrats have created this problem, and the post office warned them about it, didn't they?
They did. The post office said the obvious, that if you're going to vote, you don't need to wait till the last minute. That would have been the case when Obama was president, when Clinton was president, or when Ronald Reagan was president. The Democrats are trying to use the post office as a scare tactic with seniors and with people that receive their medicine by mail, which many of my family do. And it's very unfortunate that the Democrats would politicize the post office the way they have, when the real issue is voting. The real issue is the fact that the Democrats not only want to do universal ballots, they also want to vote illegals. You know, they want to do the ballot harvesting, and they want to do like what we saw in New York with Chairwoman Maloney's race. They want to wait 6 weeks to determine the winner of an election. That's unacceptable, and I think that the Democrats' true colors are showing right now.
Congressman, I'm out of time, but I want to ask you this question just real quick. Yes or no, for the record. Do you or any Republican that you know, is there anyone doing anything to stop or discourage anyone in America from stop voting?
Absolutely not. We want every legal registered voter to vote.
Agreed. Congressman, thanks for what you're doing. I'm going to tune in Monday to check out your hearing. Thanks for being with us. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Sean.
All right. Still to come, we're going to speak with former Democratic vice presidential candidate Senator Joe Lieberman about the current state of the Democratic Party and how he thought Joe Biden did last night. Plus, freedom from speech is under fire at a Midwestern university. We're going to get Trish Regan to weigh in on that. And it's Friday. You know what that means. Our company quiz is straight ahead. Stay tuned.